first time we've been able to have a full stage performance since December of 2019. So, you know, Dr. O'Neill, what I've learned about her, my whole life I've heard the phrase, the show must go on, but I didn't really know what that meant until I got to work closely with Dr. O'Neill, okay? Because she turns obstacles, serious obstacles, into opportunities, and she does it just on a dime. So last spring, we were all prepared to show Robin Hood, right when we got back from spring break. But 2020 happened and we never came back from spring break. And so Dr. O'Neill said at the time, didn't really work out very well, but in August, Dr. O'Neill came to me and she said, you know, play in the fall, then all of our actors are going to need to be able to wear masks. And I can't figure out how to make the masks work in the play and it not be distracting. So I think I'll just write a new play. Just write a new play, okay? So Dr. O'Neill wrote this play in about 4 weeks about the history of masks in the theater. Many of the masks that you see tonight have been created by our students, and they're very intricate. So I've been very impressed with the learning that I've seen going on with that. It's really been very amazing to watch that come together. I would also like to say, along the lines of the obstacles into opportunities, so we were originally going to do this play at Thanksgiving, but we had some COVID-related issues and we weren't able to do it at Thanksgiving. And so then we postponed it until mid-February, not knowing that Texas was going to be in a deep freeze last week. And so then we postponed it one more time until now. But what you may not know is in the middle of all of that, we were in the middle of some amazing renovations backstage for our students, our actors. And so they weren't able to practice in this facility for quite some time. They were practicing in other rooms. And when they moved back in here a couple of weeks ago, this stage was full of stuff. And so from backstage, and they were working around it. And they had the best attitude, and that attitude came from Dr. O'Neill because of her leadership and her sunny disposition and always turning an obstacle into an opportunity. So I just want to say publicly how much I appreciate that. Next, I would like to say that we have a guest performer with us this evening. We have Miss Addison Gormley, and she is a 6th grader at Colleyville. Wow. Yeah. And so 6th graders, most 6th graders don't drive. So her very dedicated mother has been driving her from Colleyville to Corsicana and back, sometimes multiple times a week. And it has been a great learning experience, not only for Addison, but also for our Navarro College students as they learn to work with cast members of various ages. So we're very excited about that. Finally, I would just like to make a couple of announcements. First off, our scholarship auditions, we have 2 set coming up. The first one on Monday, March the 1st, and then one on April the 29th. If you are interested or you have a student who's interested in attending Navarro College and being part of the theater program, maybe getting a scholarship, please contact Dr. O'Neill. I know that she would love to talk with you about that. And then finally, there was one more. If you would, on Sunday, we are very privileged to have on Sunday, we are going to have some American Sign Language interpreters with us on Sunday, and they are going to interpret the play for us. So if you know of anyone who would like to come and attend and really be able to experience the interpretation of the play, I encourage you to invite them. And finally, if you'll just take a moment to silence your phone and enjoy the show, I'll turn it over to them.
Columbina, my sweet. Oh, is dinner ready?
We only get fed after we perform.
Oh, I knew there was something I was forgetting. Wait, what is the performance?
Now?
Why is the audience in the forest? Hey? When did they get here?
They've been here.
What did I say?
Listen to me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
May I present to you Arlecchino?
And this is the lovely Columbina.
And it is our great pleasure to present to you with this evening's performance of The Masque.
That's the whole name of the show? The Masque?
Well, I wanted to make it something you could remember.
I can remember things.
Is that so? Where was our first date?
At the park, of course.
No, you simpleton. It was at the lake.
Arlecchino! Is this fair damsel harassing you? Shall I intervene? I am the bravest soldier in all of Spain.
Capitano, you are next if you interfere. What? I'm sorry!
Please, quieten down, everyone. You are disturbing my study. I was just reading Plato's masterpiece, The Republic. I was reading it in the original Latin, of course. Scientia est potentia.
Knowledge is power.
Impressive, Columbina. Do you know Latin?
Just a little. Do you, Auditore?
Of course. And I know German, French, Spanish, and how to make macaroni and cheese.
And where did you receive your degree, Auditore?
From an obscure university on a remote island with an exotic faculty, but never mind all of that.
Well, we are so glad you are here today. We need someone with your great knowledge to help us with our performance of The Masque.
Wonderful. Where would you like to begin? What areas would you like to explore?
Principally, the usage of masks in theater throughout the ages, the actor's orientation toward their mask, ritual versus theatrical performance, and the use of masks in theaters throughout the centuries.
Aha, fascinating. The Mask. I believe that I have the wrong book. Would you get started, Columbina, like gather additional resources?
Indeed, the mask was first used in a theatrical performance in ancient Greece. Tonight, we have with us, in our midst, the man who first stepped out of the chorus to don a mask. Here he is, Thespis!
I thought Thespis acted on a car traveling from town to town.
I did.
Did it shrink?
I'm getting older, just downsizing, you know.
Well, Thespis, we're so glad you're here today. We are celebrating The Masque! And we would love for you to tell us about your experience as the very first actor.
I was the first actor. The very first actor. Ever.
Yes, thank you, Thespis.
And I have brought a chorus with me, and I will engage their help.
Long ago, in Aristotle's mind, was word like locusts on the flame. The Greeks wore tigers, and philosophy pounded mankind's brain.
Thespis, our great actor, traveled from town to town. He performed his plays on a cart and gained great renown.
And famous festival of theater, the city Dionysia by name, thrilled audiences year after year, and our playwrights gained acclaim.
Our writers use our choruses to dance and tell their stories. As many as 50 men performed, telling of Greece's glories.
One day, this first actor stepped out of the chorus line. He wrote a play, put on a mask, and said,
This speech is mine. I won the first acting award in 534 BC, and soon others followed my lead. They said, hey, look at me. Only 3 men could be in a troupe, and we wore masks to portray our roles. A cast of 20 was played by only 3 men.
Men, what about the women?
There were no women in our Greek plays.
No ladies on stage. And you considered yourself an advanced culture.
We were advanced in the treatment of our actors.
How so? Defend yourself.
In our city, Dionysia held a religious festival honoring one of our many gods, Dionysus. Since these actors were honoring our god of fertility and wine, they were given almost a holy status, and we belonged to a society known as the Artists of Dionysus.
sounded like it needs a fanfare, sorry.
Thespis, I was just reading in the original Greek about this. The artists of Dionysus were easily identifiable. They wore a purple staff with a special insignia, and some wore a crown and carried a scepter.
I would look so good in a crown.
I would like to carry a scepter. It would be an effective weapon.
We also enjoyed our privileges. We had the ability to travel from place to place safely.
If you had hired me to guard you, you would be safe without your fancy costume.
We also had freedom from taxation and freedom for arrest for petty crimes.
Oh, wait! So, say if I robbed the bakery, the one with the buttery, luscious croissants, I wouldn't get in trouble for that?
You are not a member of the artists of Dionysus.
Ugh.
The members include poets, mask makers, costume makers, and mask makers.
Oh, so when you switch from one role to the next, you simply change your mask.
Yes, and if there's an extension upon the mask, that person was to be known as noble birth.
This was called in Greek onkos.
Look, it's the Dada dude.
Who was that?
That's the Dada dude. Have you heard of Dada?
No.
Illustrator, would you like to explain?
Yes, I know all there is to know about Daddy.
Dada.
Please, Columbine, I don't wish to dominate the conversation. You go ahead. Ta-da. Ta-da.
Dada began as a movement in the early 1900s around World War I. The Dadaists believed that the world's true state was one of insanity. They replaced all logic in their pieces with chaos, hence the swimming mask.
Still doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not supposed to.
And yet he still was wearing a mask.
You know who else wore masks?
Are we proceeding chronologically or by culture?
Let's go chronologically for now.
And let me see. It would be the mystery plays of medieval Europe.
They can't see you now.
Just remember, boys, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Those are some scary masks. Not that I'm afraid, mind you.
Perhaps we could review that.
I remember seeing you boys in Italy. You got a face only a mama can love.
Your mystery plays were performed throughout the Middle Ages, correct, Archangel?
Indeed, these plays were widely popular all over Europe. The church first formulated them to communicate the stories of the Bible to a largely illiterate people.
Who played the leading roles?
At first, monks and priests, but later, members of the various guilds. For instance, bakers' guilds might stage Jesus' Last Supper with the disciples, and carpenters might stage Noah and the ark.
And where did you devils come in?
Oh, anywhere hell was featured. People loved
We
us.
played pranks on characters, made dirty jokes.
In a play that was supposed to be about the Bible? Well, of course. We're the comedic relief.
Can I ask you a question, devils? Did you ever rob a bakery?
On guard!
Let's fight, Sorrow. Ow, 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 ow.
The theater of the East has used masks to great effect, you know.
Yes, a striking example is No Theater, which began in Japan in the 1300s.
No theater was primarily performed for royalty in the upper classes.
Yes, and only one man, the actor who plays the Shite, was allowed to wear a mask.
Wait, what? Only one mask? That's sad.
No, it was an honor.
I agree with you completely, sir. No argument for me!
Welcome, Shite.
Thank you. Among the Shite's many roles were that of males, females, gods, ghosts, and animals.
Is it true, Shite, that silver-bearded film actors were allowed to join the ranks of samurai?
Yes, this is why I have the honor of carrying 2 swords.
Molikino, look out!
Shite, we are celebrating masks today. No actors have an intense relation with their masks. Could you tell us about that?
When the Shite was given a role, he would very carefully choose a mask that he felt fit his interpretation of the character. There are approximately 60 different types of No masks. And at one point, each No family had their own mask maker. There are masks today that are 400 years old that are still being used in performances.
Shite, could you tell us about the final moments of putting on your mask?
Yes. After I've been dressed in my multi-layered costume, I proceed to the green room. There, I view myself in the mirror, and an attendant brings me the mask that I have chosen to play for the role. I lift it above my head, bow to it in greeting, and it is put on. After the mask is in place, I consider myself completely dissolved into the character. The Shite is taught that he must not put the mask on, but that he must put his whole self and body into the mask.
Columbina, I've been waiting for an opening like this to discuss some more of the philosophical notions of theater. May I?
The floor is yours, Little
Please, Columbina, I don't need the floor. I already have hardwood all throughout my home. Thank you.
Okay. Please speak your mind, Little.
These masks, representing comedy and tragedy, are the international symbols of theater.
Yes.
And the action of putting on your mask represents impersonation or taking on a character.
Some cultures experience anxiety when considering this idea.
Well, Plato did write in his masterpiece, The Republic, that in a perfect society, there wouldn't be any actors.
What? No actors? Shall I kill this Plato?
Plato believed that actors, by their function, are liars.
On my honor, I do not lie.
Actors pretend to have capabilities that they don't really possess, to be people who, in fact, probably don't exist.
What are you all talking about?
About how all actors are liars.
I swear, Columbina, I never even thought about kissing that other woman.
You have a good point, Little.
Look, the mummers are here.
Oh, welcome in, mummers. You are a smaller troop than what I believe is customary. Are you missing a few actors?
We are indeed. We would like to invite the Shite to stand in for the Red Knight. He's quarantining at the moment.
I would be honored to stand in for a fellow warrior.
Cestus, since you are familiar with all things theatrical, would you mind playing Maid Mary?
I'm accustomed to playing ladies' roles. It'll be just like old times.
That I do. Would you play St. George?
These mummers' plays feature a lot of nonsense that could have been written by Dada's. Given that, I will be delighted to play St. George.
Just follow our lead, Shite.
Wait, will we not be rehearsing first?
I'll tell you what to do as we go along.
I am not comfortable with this. We know actors are given our roles at the age of 3. We rehearse continuously.
I will play the part for you.
Get back, I will do it.
Just loosen up and have fun.
Fun?
Yes, that's the reason we do these. The people love them.
Our no plays were performed to evoke a certain emotion through which beauty and truth were facilitated, not for fun. Why were your mummers' plays developed?
They come from old agricultural ceremonies, predating Christianity. But today they include a resurrection story, proudly grafted onto the original story.
Illogical segues. Classic Dada construction.
Are you ready?
Yes.
In comes I, Father Christmas, with my fellow players, to present to you the Mummer's Play.
And comes I, St. George, patron saint of England, to save our fair country from the Red Knight.
In comes I, the Red Knight, to
Kill St. George.
annihilate St. George!
In comes I, Maid Marian, to sit here and look pretty.
Red Knight, I have fought and killed 15 dragons.
St. George, I have conquered witches and ghosts.
You are mighty, Red Knight, but I am stronger still.
Get on with it, lads.
Who is scripted to win this fight?
I will no doubt conquer you, Red Knight. Let me win, but make it look like a real struggle.
Ah!
Don't kill me, Shite! Are you a real samurai?
Yes.
Maid Marian, can I get a little help here?
Oh, Red Knight, you fool!
Just lay there for a while, Shite.
Okay, but will they really think that you defeated me?
Doctor, can I get a doctor out here, please?
You called for a doctor, and here I am.
And what can you cure, doctor?
So glad you asked. The itch, the stitch, the parsley, the gout, the pains within and the pains without. If this man has a devil in him, I can get 20 of them out.
Oh, yeah? Let's see if we're
pray over.
And where did you learn these cures, Doctor?
And locations all over. From Italy, Spitaly, France and Spain, to London, Chester, and back again.
And what are your wages, wise doctor, for curing one lying dead in the street?
I reckon 50 guineas will put him back on his feet.
50 guineas? Good doctor, do you have a husband? May I apply for this job?
You realize this is not real money, Justice. We're only play acting.
Sorry, I got caught up in my method acting.
Your wages have been paid, doctor. Now, do heal the man, for it is Christmas.
I have an operation I can perform. I will assist you, good doctor. Good news. He still has a soul. But he has a case of tuberculosis. And a slight hypothermia.
What's the cure, doctor?
2 drops of this potion of frog liver, a bicycle spoke, 1 hair from a hobby horse. This is so data! 3 sprigs of rosemary, a chocolate pie, and lots of gifts.
A chocolate pie? Do you need another big guy?
Please, administer the potion. Red Knight, you have been vanquished by our valiant St. George. Please lead us in cheer for our champion.
3 cheers for St. George! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Our English friends, your countryman, Mr. William Shakespeare, had an imagination like no other.
Right you are.
But he wasn't afraid to draw from other sources.
True, Paladina.
In A Midsummer Night's Dream, Henry VIII and Romeo and Juliet, he featured the Masque, M-A-S-Q-U-E, in his works.
Oh yes, the Masque, one of my favorite English traditions.
Doctor, would you please describe the format of the Masque chorus?
Oh, what a feast for your eyes. It was a quarterly entertainment, usually a celebration. For instance, on one noble's birthday or warrior's conquest. The nobles participated in the entertainment. There were beautiful masks and scenery and wonderful singing and dancing.
We're going to need a few actors to step in for this.
Who may I play for you, my sweet?
Romeo, please. I'll play Juliet.
Anyone have a mitt or my watch?
Capitano, please play Capulet, the host of the Masque.
At your service, madam. Will I also need a mint?
No, Capitano, but thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, the Masque scene from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Greetings, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns shall walk about with you. Ah, my mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty? She, I'll swear, hath corns. Come, musicians, play! Capulet? For you and I are past our dancing days. Tell me, how long is it now since last you and I were in a mass?
Our Lady, maybe 30 years.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrims, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have saints not lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, lips that they must use in prayer.
Then let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move,
Then
though grant for prayer's sake.
move not for my prayers effect I take. That's from my lips by thine. My sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips. O trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again.
You kiss my book.
And which book would that be? Paladino, may I borrow your book?
Enough of all this wonderful singing and dancing. I would like to return back to our philosophical discussion. When we consider the Mask, we must consider theatrical elements in other activities.
What are you saying, auditory? Use shorter words. Yes.
Rituals, or things in our everyday lives, such as sporting events, holiday celebrations, and religious ceremonies, have theatrical elements.
Uh-huh.
Rituals are typically performed to accomplish something, to propitiate a god, get a prayer answered.
Bro.
Theater is performed for an
Anyone have a
audience.
thesaurus?
Theater is performed for an audience's enjoyment or entertainment, whereas a ritual is performed for an audience that participates in something.
And auditory, I think what you're getting at is that sometimes in these rituals that have theatrical elements, people wear masks.
Precisely. Oh, I'm amazed, astounded, puzzled, flabbergasted, stupefied, flummoxed, and gobsmacked by the ubiquitous uses of masks. They're in all cultures and eras throughout the world. It stymies my brain. Don't you feel the same way, Arlecchino?
I'm still trying to catch up, Prof. I'm stuck on the word ubiquitous.
Arlecchino, let us explain. Our Greek course has prepared a spectacle involving some cultures' usages of masks.
Fascinating. Think about these layers. We will experience, momentarily, a theatrical performance of various rituals, which includes theatrical elements.
I better lie down.
We will begin the spectacle with an examination of the buffalo dance, as performed by the Sioux people of North America.
The buffalo, a majestic creature, is cleansed in the Sioux and lifeblood for its clan. Its woolly hair, meat and sinews, the people use down to the smallest gland.
At twilight, before the great hunt, the shaman and the hunters dance. Around a fire, they parade with masks, preparing to use the arrow or lance. The dancers' movements summon buffalo near they dance. Children thrill to watch their fathers march, jump, and stamp. When one dancer tires, he bends markedly forward, sinking his body to the ground.
Another dancer draws a bow, pretending to kill the woolly foe. The fallen bison is dragged from the ring, and with knives the bison is joined in the scene.
The spectators pretend to cut and clean the bison, while another hunter takes up the dance.
Through the night until break of dawn, the hunters march, stomp, and prance.
Beautifully done, Victorious. Across the ocean from America, masks are used throughout Europe for a ritual that draws people from all over the world. Archangel, would you care to explain?
The holiest season of the Christian year is Easter, when the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead is celebrated.
40 days prior to the great feast of Easter is marked by fasting. The season is called Lent.
The beginning of Lent is called Ash Wednesday, a solemn day when Christians are asked to be mindful of their mortality. The priest speaks the words, "Remember that you are dust, and unto dust you shall return."
The Christian is admonished to search his soul and dedicate himself to this holy season of introspection and fasting.
But the 7 days before Ash Wednesday are called Shrove Days, or Carnivale.
Carnivale has Latin roots, meaning goodbye to flesh.
Customs pertaining to food are prevalent on Shrove Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. On Fat Tuesday, as it is known, bacon, pancakes, and eggs are consumed with wild abandon, so they will not go to waste during the 40-day fast.
Is today Fat Tuesday? I can just smell the sausage.
Wild abandon also characterizes the parties, parades, and plays which have come to be common in carnivals around the world.
Let us celebrate Carnivale in Venice first.
Venice is my home. I'm a lowly Commedia dell'arte player, but as Carnivale, when I wear a pretty dress and mask, I can get into the richest parties where no one knows who I am.
Wait, what parties? Are you sneaking into parties to flirt other men?
What were you saying, Gilderoy?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. You know, about the Valentine.
Yes, I almost forgot. The men used to wear a white mask called a bauta under a tricorn hat and a black cloak. They would wear this to Carnivale and court women anonymously.
You know, in addition to hiding persons' identities, the BAFTA became a standardized map for political decision-making events. These maps guaranteed that voters will remain anonymous when casting votes.
Present carnival is celebrated in numerous locations around the world. Many of the elements remain the same, but some carnivals have unique delights.
Speaking of delight, we devils play an important role in the Carnivale and Moab coterie.
Yes, since the 1500s, men of this charming village would betray Busoyaras. They would get in a boat and travel up the Danube River. They wore woolly costumes and masks cut from wood. They would parade the town, scaring away the demons of winter.
That's fun.
Say, do you think there's one behind us now?
Yes. The highlight comes on Shrove Tuesday. A coffin is set on fire, signaling the end of winter and the beginning of spring.
The Busayara are important figures in your folklore, right, sir?
Yes, the wooden masks scared the invaders away.
So, Sayara, just as you protected your people, in Africa, villagers would hold mask festivals to celebrate the spirits that protected their people.
In Burkina Faso, elaborate masks were carved out of wood representing the spirits that protected pregnant women, and even bush bulls and monkeys.
The masks belonged to the families in the villages, and the owners of the mask would either perform in the festival or train their son or nephew to perform. In this way, the dances were passed on from generation to generation.
Ritual that my buddies and I love.
You haven't mentioned it yet.
And this ritual celebrates death.
I know, it sounds too good to be true, but it is.
Well, if you boys enjoy this holiday so much, then what is it called?
Dia de los Muertos.
The Day of the Dead.
We love it because death usually scares the stuffings out of people.
Devils, this celebration embraces death as a part of life.
Oh, don't take away our joy, Archangel. There's still some creepy stuff that goes on.
Take a look at those masks.
You guys have completely misunderstood this holiday.
No, we haven't. Listen, every year, at the beginning of November, people hang out at the cemetery.
Ooh, I would love to expand upon this idea.
The festival begins on October 31st, right?
Yes, and it continues until November the 2nd.
Halloween! Would there be any candy in this scene?
There's a parade that features skeleton masks called galactas.
The family gathers at the cemetery at the graves of their loved ones.
They tell stories about them and bring their favorite foods.
Food. If I don't have some soon, I'm gonna just join the departed.
To lead the souls of the departed home, the family builds arches out of marigold flowers. They then sprinkle the petals of the marigold flowers from the cemetery all the way to the family home.
Come tonight with our lamps, with joy and the miracles scattered round us. We sing and dance, we wear our masks, we celebrate the departed. Little ones, let me tell you now that it's just a part of living. No need to fear this night, my dear, join in the dance and sing. Your day was mortals, the day we remember our loved ones, the stories we tell, the pilgrim, the masks we wear, the songs we sing. Your day was mortals, the day we remember our loved ones, the stories we tell, the pilgrim, the masks we wear, the songs we sing.
Paulina, we have seen many traditions involving masks and seen many theatrical performances focus on masks, and we have not yet heard tradition of commedia dell'arte.
Right you are, Thespis Illutori. Would you provide background?
Ooh, will I? Arlecchino, Paulina, El Capitano, and I, Il Dottore, are Commedia dell'arte players. Commedia began in 1560 around in Italy and was a craze that reached epidemic-sized proportions until about 1750.
But performances of commedia are still given in corners of the world today.
Wow, look who woke up.
Well, I don't know about any of that other stuff you were talking about, but I know about this.
Carry on then.
The most important thing to know about commedia is Arlecchino is everyone's favorite character.
Commedia players were in traveling troops, and their scripts were improvised.
Every character had their own bits, or lazzi. Mine, for instance, is my strong command of Latin. Carpe diem.
There were jokes about food, tea, and butts. Columbina, can I tell my favorite joke?
If you must.
Why were mushrooms invited to all the great parties?
I don't know.
Because they were such fun guys.
I have a joke. How many daughters does it take to screw in a light bulb? Fish!
That's this. All of the female roles were played by women. Girls out.
And all of the commedia characters wore masks. Except the innamorato, the young lovers.
Columbina, I believe the best way to explain our art is to demonstrate it. Thespis players, you are all wearing masks. Would you like to join us for a commedia play?
Yeah. Wonderful. Places, everyone. Okay, maybe just go over to the side and come in when you're ready.
Okay, script 9364C.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah, that's what we, yeah, okay, don't get too much away. Columbina, I cannot give you my permission to marry that dolt Arlecchino.
But why, Father? I love him most ardently.
Why? Well, for starters, he is an actor.
Hey!
Besides, the captain is here to see you now, and you know he has a lot of money.
Ah, Columbina, I have so much money. Surely you would be happy if you married a wealthy man such as I. Although I don't promise I would share that wealth.
My heart belongs to Arlecchino.
You know he's an actor, right?
Hey! Yes, he may have no money, but his heart is true. He sings to me every night before I lay my head on my pillow. Oh, I think I hear him now. I think I hear him now.
Oh, beans and cornbread, that's me. Oh, Columbina, how I love you, not Tina. Oh, Columbina, you have my heart, it's obscene. Nah, oh, Columbina, say you'll be mine, don't be mean. Ah, oh, Columbina, love me now, or in the scene. Nah, bellissima, oh pretty girl, your father hates me, I make him well. Oh Columbina, you are my girl, please be my girl.
This Arlecchino may sing well, but I have a vast fortune.
Is that so?
I found an unbelievable amount of treasure in the mysterious island of Lulu Peekaboo Gululu. I can buy you anything you ever dreamed of.
Could you buy me a new father that would let me marry Arlecchino and I
I've never been so insulted in all my life.
You? Did you not hear what she said about me?
Don't think that I won't marry you, Columbina. My mind is made up and you will be mine.
Oh, please, Captain,
You
come
need to
back.
teach your daughter some
Please,
manners,
forgive her.
sir.
Come back.
Oh, Arlecchino, my dim-witted love. Please save me from the grasp of this pompous man.
If only I knew a way to help Columbina. Just think, Otterbrain, just think.
Oh, young man, are you in trouble?
Not yet. Who are you?
Someone who wants to help. And I brought a Greek chorus with me to do what they do best.
And that is?
Give advice.
You are looking for an answer. We'll be glad to provide. Please sit just a moment and let us be your guide.
Okay, well, I have this problem. Let me tell you about it.
They already know.
They do?
Did I not mention that this is a Greek chorus?
Okay. How do I win the hand of my Columbina? how do I persuade her father to allow me to marry her?
El Capitano, he makes treasure by the score. If Columbina marries him, he says she'll laugh nevermore.
We have a secret, Arlecchino, one which will surprise you.
The fortune the captain has couldn't buy a kangaroo.
What? You're not lying, are you?
Greek choruses never lie.
Wow, how do I expose this?
There is a great trunk, you see, where the captain keeps his treasure. You'll find it in his man cave where he goes for leisure.
Wow, Greek choruses do come in handy. Where have you been all of my life?
Yeah, that topic is another play entirely.
Let us away, good chorus. Oedipus needs advice again.
Not that I'll take it.
I will engage the help of some friends to appear to Columbina's father in a dream. My goodness, I think I just formulated a plan. Columbina, my love, don't despair. Perhaps my brain is perhaps brighter than I once thought.
Remember what Arlecchino told us. We need to persuade Columbina's father to ask to see El Capitano's treasure.
Persuade him? Couldn't we just threaten with the prospects of going to hell?
Yeah, that usually works.
Please, we don't want to give the old man a heart attack. We just want to motivate him to go see El Capitano.
Well, can we just scare him a little?
Yes, I suppose so.
Okay, let's practice our scary looks. Go.
Ow,
Oh, it's mine.
nice. Oh, that's wonderful.
Father Christmas, your old hands are back in case we need it.
At your service.
Maybe you need to be a little creepier?
We don't need your help, Archangel.
Can't you do a prostitute or something?
Hey, wake up! We got something to tell you.
Are you the ghost of Christmas past?
Wrong place.
We are here to warn you, sir!
Don't trust El Capitano.
Ask to see his treasure.
And what, pray tell, will happen if I don't?
Are you tempting me?
Do you not know where we're from?
Please, you two don't scare me one whit.
You listen right here, mister. You better go see El Capitano first thing tomorrow morning, or you will never see a Christmas gift in your stocking ever again.
Ever again?
Not a single year.
I'm not feeling so good. Archangels, are those the pearly gates?
Hey, Father Christmas, and look what you did!
Never fear. I have an operation I can perform. I cure the itch, the stitch, the puzzle, and the gum.
Yes, think about doing those. Could you supervise him? We're on a bit of a schedule here.
Fine. Here's your medicine.
I'm on my way to go see the captain. I'm on my way to go see the captain. But he is a bit stubborn. I will require the help of a samurai friend of mine.
Arlecchino, what are you doing outside the protective room?
I'm hatching a plan. I'm finding that my brain improves as I use it.
Oh, this night of gambling has ruined me! I don't have a fortune anymore! How can I keep Columbina's hand with all my treasure?
Follow my lead. Did you hear my friend of the rich old man in town?
No.
No, it's the dude.
We hear he's from Sicily.
Yes,
Yes, and the richest man in Italy.
And why is he here?
He was born here.
He returned to his hometown today.
You know your lines aren't rhyming.
Give us a break. We're improvising.
I'm here to own in a connecting a third.
While he is in this lurch.
Ooh.
All right.
To find the noblest man in town.
And when he finds him, what will he do?
He will bestow upon him $1 million.
Or 2.
Oh, yeah.
What's left?
Captain, if you please, would you open the door? I have some urgent business with you.
It is very late, sir. Could we instead meet tomorrow?
No. Captain, you wish to marry my daughter, but before I can give you my blessing to do so, I must view your treasure in its entirety from the island of Lulu Peekaboo.
Lulu Peekaboo Lulu.
You know what he means.
Yes, I have hidden it away. It is so vast, it'll take a while for me to uncover it all. Could we instead meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening? That way you can view it in its entirety.
I suppose this is a reasonable request. We will be back tomorrow evening.
We?
Sweet dreams, pussycat.
Whoa. I must find the old man with the treasure in the morning.
Are you the old man or the
Yes.
Let's go find this guy.
I have a costume you may use.
I have never played an old man before. You know, once we comedian players are given a role, we play that role our entire life.
Let me coach you.
Please.
Have a seat. You too, Cosmina. Many theorists throughout the centuries have debated the idea of impersonation, or becoming a character. Some writers have had trouble distinguishing between reality and the world of performance. Tertullian said that when you take a sin on stage, you take that sin on your mortal soul.
Yikes. I will be committing any sins in this role, just telling a white lie. Is that
Look at this. This is fascinating.
Konstantin Stanislavski says that when you take on a role, you cease to be yourself and you become your character for the duration of the performance.
Arlecchino said you really need to become the old man.
Become the old man.
Jerzy Grotowski says that an actor uses his role as a scalpel to find something out about himself.
What are you finding out about yourself in the role, Arlecchino?
That I may be in over my head.
When the actor does this soul searching, he encourages the audience to soul search as well.
Have you all learned anything throughout the play?
Considering all these ideas, Arlecchino, I want you to place yourself in the shoes of an ancient man.
I only have these shoes.
Figuratively, Arlecchino, I want you to move slowly and act like you have much years of wisdom.
This is a stretch.
To give you a physical connection to the role, I want you to imagine that you are constipated most of the time. And a thorough poop is a luxury. Got it?
Now that I understand.
Thank you for your wisdom, Festus. Let's go get you in a costume.
And now for a Dada segue, which has nothing to do with the story you are watching. We need to give Arlecchino some time to get ready for his next scene. So here are a few masks we don't want to overlook. Ready, chorus?
Ready.
I, of course, love my trips to the spa.
I love children's theater. Haha.
And Halloween, masks make us all spooky. And where we be with no Darth Vader or Wookiee.
And we all know Shrek.
And Phantom of the Opera.
And bells are made to marry off the daughter.
The plague doctor treated victims bubonic.
And the gas mask on the up. Iconic.
And the baddest mask was used for welding.
And when the Lone Ranger wore his mask atop Silver to Gelling.
Time home, Silver, away!
Gallop, 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 gallop.
Sir, this is El Capitano from Spain.
I must leave my fortune with a man born from my hometown. A virtuous man. But you're from Spain?
I am, sir. But I can assure you, I am a virtuous man.
You don't gamble. I won't have anyone playing games with my fortune.
No, I wouldn't be able to tell a royal flush from a full house, or if a pair of queens trumps 3 jacks.
Does a pair of queens trump 3 jacks?
No. I mean, I don't know.
Sir, I must leave my fortune with a man born here.
I am an orphan, sir. I don't know where I was born.
I too was an orphan.
Get it together, gentlemen. An actor must stay in control of their emotions.
Due to the immense connection I feel for you because of our unknown parentage, I'll name you as my heir.
Father!
My son.
So, can you write me a check, or...
You will get the fortune on your wedding day.
Not today?
No. But I will start drawing up the paperwork for you to sign.
Well then, good day to you, sirs. Thank you! Sir, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
But we are scheduled to meet this evening. Could we not meet this friend then?
This will only take a moment.
The Duke is trying to rest.
This is quite urgent.
We have news about Columbina. Open the door.
Come in. Who are these visitors you've brought with you?
This is my fiance's father, my future father-in-law. I wanted to introduce you, father, to him.
I see. Greetings.
This generous man is bestowing upon me his fortune.
But what about your fortune?
Sir, my fortune is nothing.
Nothing.
Virtually nothing. Compared to the wealth of this benevolent man.
I see.
Father, can you please show this good man your riches? That way he can give his blessing for my marriage to his daughter, Columbina.
He cannot do this because
I want to marry the beautiful Columbina.
What? Arlecchino?
Why are you here?
Where's the money, Arlecchino?
I should be asking you the same thing.
Where is your money, Captain?
I lost it, all right. It's gone. I gambled it away.
I am amazed, astounded, bumfuzzled, flabbergasted, stupefied, flummoxed, and gobsmacked. You have gambled away your fortune. I cannot give you my blessing to marry my daughter.
Arlecchino, I challenge you to a duel for the hand of Columbina.
I am no good with swordplay, but I'd rather be dead than go living a life without my Columbina.
I will meet you outside, sir.
Well, isn't this a pickle?
Mm-hmm.
Should I take the liar for my son-in-law or the actor?
Hey! CJ, could you show me a couple of tips about using a sword?
Of course. For starters, this is the bad end. You stay away from that.
Good tip.
No, bad tip.
CJ, you made a joke. So proud of you.
Resist the urge to hug me.
Is it true, Arlecchino? Are you going to duel the captain?
Yes, I will do anything for you, Columbina.
I will leave you two alone. I have some friends that I need to call upon. Chite, will you join me?
Arlecchino, please don't go there with us. I'm afraid.
I have followed Beth's advice and I've searched my heart, and it is empty without you.
I love you, Arlecchino.
I love you too, Columbina.
Are you really determined to duel Arlecchino?
He has insulted me in every way. And he duped me by pretending to bestow a fortune upon me.
But what about my daughter? Did you ever love her?
Not really. Where is that coward?
Masque, to your posts. If you do not leave Columbina and Arlecchino alone. We will hound you until your very last day.
I am ready to proclaim my love for Columbina. I am willing to die for her.
Arlecchino, the captain did not love my daughter. He only loved his money. My child, come here. Arlecchino, I would be honored to have you as a son. You may marry Columbina with my blessing.
Did you hear that, everyone? This calls for a dance.
Well, we do have one more thing before everybody leaves. Cass, if you would please stand off to the side. And Lexi, if you would please take center stage. Just turn around. Make sure you close your eyes. You may turn around.